us.
Oh, I didn't. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I guess you could just watch it now. Because don't you have to watch it through the virtual?
Yeah, you gotta watch it through Teams or Channel 3, whatever. Phone is, Facebook, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's like,
I think it was Teams, because I saw an email from IT about it. Just enough time to run home, go get my dog from daycare, drop him off, wash off all the little tiny hairs that were on from there.
It's 7 o'clock. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item on the agenda is public comments on agenda items only. Are there any public comments? Seeing none, we'll move forward to item number 3, the consent agenda. Any item may be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately by the request of a commissioner.
I would like to briefly discuss item C at this time. Item C for the Armed Forces Day. Candidly, I have no concerns with the event, but I did notice that the special event permit application was fulfilled by their leadership, who is no longer in their position, Rob Wilson. I was unsure, with him being removed from his position, if we're still allowed to accept this application in good faith, since it's on behalf of the military affairs. I don't know if we have counsel on that.
yes, we can. Mr. Wilson's gonna start working for the city on May 4th, so he'll be in place when this takes place. So he's also still moving forward with his stuff, getting this stuff coordinated, so it's not gonna be an issue.
Okay, excellent. And so having the organization name listed as military affairs won't be a concern either for that piece?
Correct.
Excellent. Thank you. That's my only concerns.
I have a question for that. What job will he be doing?
The military liaison for the city of Junction City for 60 days to get us up through Freedom Fest, with all the military events going on with us in Fort Riley.
Just for the 60 days?
That's what it is right now, yes, sir.
Do we need to approve that?
No, you don't. No, you don't. If I hired him full-time, you would have to approve it. You'd have to get a change approved to the commission on Resolution 3122 to add the position if we did that.
Okay, thank you.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed respond by saying nay. Motion carries. Next item is special presentation. We'll go ahead and cover both proclamations at the same time. I'll go ahead and step forward. Proclamation, National Treatment Court Month, May 2026. Whereas, according to All Rise, treatment courts are the most successful justice system intervention in our nation's history for reducing crime by addressing substance use and mental health disorders. And whereas treatment courts save an average of more than $6,000 for every individual they serve. And whereas treatment courts provide a range of economic benefits to a community, such as reduced costs in court and prison expenditures, increased tax revenues, lowered foster care expenses, and decreased cost related to victimization. And whereas treatment courts combine accountability with evidence-based treatment, and whereas treatment courts annually refer more than 150,000 people to life-saving treatment and recovery support services, and whereas, according to All Rise, treatment courts significantly improve substance use and mental health disorder treatment outcomes and prevent fatal overdoses, and whereas treatment courts facilitate community-wide partnerships bringing together public safety and public health, and whereas there are now more than 4,000 treatment courts nationwide, And whereas treatment courts demonstrate that when one person rises, we all rise. Therefore, be it resolved that Junction City declares that Treatment Court Month be established during the month of May.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, thank you, okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Moving forward on to item number B. So City of Junction City Arbor Day Proclamation. Whereas in 1872, J. Sterling Morton proposed to the Nebraska Board of Agriculture that a special day be set aside for the planting of trees. And whereas this holiday called Arbor Day was first observed with the planting of more than 1 million trees in Nebraska. And whereas Arbor Day is now observed throughout the nation and the world. And whereas trees can reduce the erosion of our precious topsoil by wind and water, cut heating and cooling costs, moderate the temperature, clean the air, produce oxygen, and provide habitat for wildlife. And whereas trees are a renewable resource giving us paper, wood for our homes, fuel for our fires, and countless other wood products. And whereas trees in our city increase property values, enhance the economic vitality of business areas, and beautify our community. And whereas trees are a source of joy and spiritual renewal, and whereas Junction City has been recognized as a Tree City USA for the 50th year by the National Arbor Day Foundation and desires to continue its tree planting ways. Now therefore, I, Terry Butler, Mayor of the City of Junction City, Geary County, Kansas, do hereby proclaim April 24th, 2026 as the 154th anniversary celebration of Arbor Day. In the City of Junction City, I urge all citizens to support efforts to care for our trees and woodlands and to support our city's community forestry program. And further, I urge all citizens to plant trees to gladden the hearts and promote the well-being of present and future generations. Given under my hand and seal of the City of Junction City, State of Kansas, and this 21st day of April 2026. So moving on to new business. A, consideration of ordinance number S3329, rezoning of the property located at 1304 West 14th Street from General Residential District RG to Neighborhood Commercial District CN.
Mayor's Commissioner Christopher Schraggess, Community Development Director. On April 1st of 2026, Junction City Planning Commission had a request for the property at 1304 West 14th Street for the rezoning of a property that is zoned as General Residential District to CN Neighborhood Commercial District. During that meeting, I, the staff member, advised the Junction City Planning Commission using the 8 golden factors to determine whether or not rezoning this property would meet the criteria through those. Giving the information to that, we did go over several factors and said the Planning Commission did decide that it was a good idea to go ahead and rezone this property for the utilization of a neighborhood service as a laundromat in that area due to 4 factors. One, there's only 4 self-serving laundromats within Junction City. Most of those are either at the south end or eastern end of the city. So putting one in a much-needed LMI community to provide that service was a great factor. Two, would spot zoning be a concern for that? Looking at the property, that property was zoned as a commercial-based property at one time. It was then rezoned back in, I believe, the early 2000s when they redid the zoning for the city. That property is still within the confines of being a commercial-based property. So with those factors, the Junction City Planning Commission does recommend to the City of Junction City Commission to go ahead and approve the rezoning for ordinance S3329 for the property at 1304 West 14th Street from RG General Residential District to CN Neighborhood Commercial District. And I'm here to answer any questions at this time.
Is that the property that used to be like a quick shop?
So that's right next to the one that is right next to the Quick Shop.
The little one on the corner?
The one on the corner is the Quick Shop that you were thinking. The one right next to it, just to the east, was a laundromat at one time. That's the property we're speaking of, sir.
It's right on your way into Westwood, right?
Correct.
Right before that
Yep.
little bend there. So I do agree it is serving an area that otherwise does not have access to these, especially without a vehicle.
Correct.
Well, that was a quick shop.
Oh, I'm sorry.
A long time ago. That's what
I stand corrected.
It's been not underutilized for a long time.
Correct. It has been vacant for quite a bit of time. The owners of the property would like to get it back into utilization. And by providing a laundromat service, they believe that is the best utilization for that area of the city.
I make a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? This is a roll call.
Commissioner Landis,
Yes.
Mayor Butler,
Yes.
Commissioner Panera,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Moskowitz.
Yes.
I'll be right back.
Thank you.
Next item, B, consideration of ordinance number S3330, final plat with a common address of 2440 or 2440 Sawmill Road, Lot 31, 32, and half of Lot 33.
Again, Mayor, Commissioners, Planning Commission did over here on April 1st, 2026 for the address of 2440 Sawmill, lots 31, 32, and half of 33 for the proposed replat. At that meeting, we did go over the confines, and it does meet all zoning and building codes to meet the existing for the existing replat for future infrastructure building for residential needs. The Call Valley engineer that was taking over the case was there present and said that they are working on the plat. The LIMAR will be done by their agency. Planning Commission does recommend to the City of Junction City Commission to approve ordinance S3330 for the replatting of 2440 Sawmill, lots 31, 32, and half of lot 33. And I'm here to take any questions at this time.
I have a housekeeping question. I noticed on this application under section 2, item 6, we do not have a signature and date.
For the minutes,
The applicant acknowledges receipt of the instruction sheet explaining the method of submitting this application, et cetera, et cetera. It's,
correct, yeah, I
that chunk.
I have that. I had to redo the actual application. The handwriting was not legible.
Okay, so we
I
know
do-
in good faith it is signed and
Correct.
dated appropriately.
Yes.
It just had not been presented.
That is correct.
Understood. No further concerns.
Move to approve ordinance S3330 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? This will be a roll call.
Commissioner Panera,
Aye.
Vice Mayor Moskowitz,
Aye.
Commissioner Landis,
Yes.
Mayor Butler,
Yes.
Commissioner Music,
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
C, moving on to C, consideration of the approval of Benesh Engineering as the airport consultants for a 5-year contract. Did I pronounce that name right, Benesh?
Finish.
All right.
Correct. Madam Mayor, Commissioners, every 5 years, the FAA requires the city to select an airport consultant and to make recommendations on the projects that they have for the next 5 years and review the status of those activities at the airport. The last time it was approved was in January 2021, and on January 22nd, the city advertised for requests for qualifications for the airport consultant. On February 25th, we received the RFQ and only received one proposal. That proposal was Benesh Engineering from Manhattan, Kansas. On March 10th, the board met, reviewed the proposal, and selected Benesh to be the consultant for the next 5 years. Funding is available within the airport budget, and the city staff recommends approving Benesh Engineering as the city's airport consultant for the next 5 years. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
What was the annual cost before this term?
It just depends on the projects they're doing.
And this has a fixed price, correct?
I believe it does.
100,
Let me see what it is.
engineering services for,
Let me look. There's a base hour rate that they have that they've given us to do this.
can it increase?
I have Brad Waller from Benesh Engineering here, and he can answer that question.
Good evening, Brad Waller of Benesh. No, there is no retainer or yearly fee with it. It is simply to assist with projects as they come available and as we receive grant. As we put in grants and get them and going.
Flat fee,
Uh,
I mean annually,
no flat fee annually. The next item on your agenda
right?
is one of the first design of the thing. So what we're approving now is simply a zero cost master services agreement for us to do projects as they come.
Okay,
Them-
thank you.
Okay.
They've done a really nice job for the city for a long time. And they've been very instrumental in getting us some grants that really keeps business out there, so we appreciate their help. I move to approve the agreement with Benesh Engineering as the airport consultant for the next 5 years, I present. Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Motion carries. All right, item D, consideration of the request to approve the engineering agreement at Freedom Field to Benesh Engineering for the design on the rehab of runway 1836 with an FAA grant with a 90-10 match in the amount of $4,038,000. The city will pay a total of $509,393.
Madam Mayor, Commissioners, again, the city received notice from the FAA on an aviation grant to rehab the runway at Freeman Field in $4.03 million. The grant is a 90-10. The airport, Benesh will be the airport consultant in design of the scope of the services for the agreement of the rehab of runway 1836. Funding would come from the budget. As previously noted, the commission set aside money for this funding when we had this notice back before they got congressional spending to allow this project. City staff recommends the engineering service agreement to Benesh Engineering in the amount of $509,393, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
So our match is about 51,000, 10%.
10% is 90-10 match.
Actually, just to clarify,
Ours is 500,000 to 509,000. That's our part.
no.
No.
So, just a quick step back, working really close with Ray and his staff, did a great job. We submitted an application for over $4 million to reconstruct the runway. This was a year ago, and went through Senator Moran's office, congressionally direct spending, and was awarded the grant, found out January, February, somewhere in there of this year. The grant is $4 million. On a typical way through FAA, it's 90-10 match. So the city's match would be $400,000 over the life of this grant as we do this. Today is design only, And as part of this grant for the FY '26 period of FAA, it's actually a 95.5 for this year. We don't know if next year would be a 95.5 also, which would give you, half price. But anyways, we'll see when it comes. Basically, it's design only. We will be approved with FAA probably in June to get started. And the goal is to get this thing designed and get it bid and ready to come back to you about a year from right now with a contractor, with a low bid, responsive bidder, and then build it, reconstruct it in '27 is the plan.
Is this proposal, the grant that was already approved by the FAA for, is this within, you're the only bidder, as I understand?
Well, I wasn't a bidder.
He's the designer of we have just approved him as being our airport consultant, so he's the designer of the project.
Is this fee to the city in line with comparable projects for rebuilding?
Yes, it is. And then some of this can be bought back on reimbursement, if I'm correct. Is that not?
Say that again.
Some of this can be got back on reimbursement, can it?
Yes, and an independent fee estimate was required for FAA projects over 100,000. It was completed. I know you received it from whomever did it. I believe it was within reason, or we were under that. So
You were under for the FAA.
yeah, this would be 95.5. So as we go through the project, every time we submit a grant or submit an invoice to the city, they'll turn around and go to Delphi and the FAA system and withdraw 95% of it immediately.
Thank you.
So this 509,000 is independent from the 5 or 10% match we will expect to see. This is just for the cost of these services. Is that correct in my understanding? Because I whipped out my calculator, and 509,000 is closer to 13% of the 4 million and change. So I'm assuming.
So the total project cost for design, construction, engineering, and everything was estimated at about $4.5 million,
Okay.
all in. The city's match of that 10% estimate is about $450,000,
Okay.
which is what we submitted for with FAA to get over $4 million. So the $4 million from FAA plus the city's assumed to be 10% match, again, it's 5% this year, was about 4.5 million. So this is part of that overall project. Now, one thing I will point out, want to admit or want to say is we are currently trying to figure out if we can also go after another grant to recoup the city's 5% on this project and the 10% next year. The reason I say that is KDOT has set aside funding to match bill grants. So I should say the old bipartisan infrastructure law on COVID that is now IIJA, whatever that stands for with the new president. They set aside basically $20 million and said, if you can take that money and go get more money instead of us spending, I'm sorry, $200 million. Instead of KDOT spending $200 million in the state of Kansas, they said, if we can give communities money and use that as match to go get 80-20 grants or 95-10 grants, that $200 million can turn into $1 billion. So depending, and I've got a question into Senator Moran's office and Jen Colton with the bill with KDOT Association to see if we can, what grant it is. There's still a little confusion of how exactly it's coming through FAA. So with any luck, knock on wood, we may come back to you and be like, yes, remember that 5% you had to owe? It's down to it could be down to pretty minimal. So we'll see. And then that sets us up potentially then for the next year's big one.
Perhaps a silly question. We recently acquired a grant writer for the city, Mr. Obermeyer. Have you been working with him, I presume? Excellent.
Yep, we've been working together.
Cool.
Reached out and we've talked over different things, and this one actually was submitted again a year ago, so before that. But yes, keeping up to speed for sure.
Excellent. Thank you.
Last question. Mr. Javier, was this in our budget that you presented?
Yes, remember 2 years ago, the FAA said for us to accept this, we have to have set aside money, and you agreed on, I think it was a resolution to say, yes, we will set aside money to be able to fund this project when this came available.
Okay, thank you.
2 years in a row. didn't we?
Yeah.
So what is the will of the commission?
I'm still confused. What is the $509,393 is paid to your company, correct? And it's not a part of the grant, and it's not a part of the what portion is gonna be owed, correct?
It is covered by the grant. The grant covers that $4 million grant,
Uh-huh.
and plus the city's, whatever the local match will be as we go, covers the design, which is survey, geotech, the design, the
So we're
aeronautical.
agreeing up front that we're gonna pay you $509,000, 300, right, correct, 393.
Correct, yes.
Okay, and that's all gonna come out of this grant, and we're gonna have a percentage off of that due.
That's correct, that's
Okay.
correct. So the city's committing right now to roughly $26,000 to secure that 590 for us to do design. Just know that I will be coming back to you about a year from now with bid in hand that's hopefully in that ballpark and asking for another 350,000 for the match or whatever it was when that time.
What do you
comes.
mean, hopefully in the ballpark?
We'll have to design and bid the project. I can't tell you what the bids will be at that time. It's based on our estimates.
Okay,
We'll design it and get it out to bid and get the lowest price bidder.
okay.
Given the fact that we already have airports and runways, and this is a rebuild, what does that, could you translate what that means? This is a comprehensive,
Yes, sir. So it's kind of fun when you get old enough in your career where you redo work you've done before, especially as a designer. Ray and I did the mill and overlay on this airport runway in I think 2006 or 2008, whatever it was.
I think it was 6.
Was it 6, 20 years ago?
right,
It hasn't gotten hardly any love since then, and it's starting to fall apart. And obviously, it's a costly project to complete. And it's a tough one to go get grants for, and that's why we went and fought for some grant opportunities to get it.
so it's not just an overlay.
It's not just, it's basically what, we've already done geotechnical analysis on it and looked through it. We're gonna do what's called a full depth reclamation. It's basically where you come into the asphalt that's already in pretty bad shape and you just beat the tar out of it, pulverize it. You mix it up, put in some cement and put in some other types of admixtures and basically turn it into a very solid base. Then you do an overlay on top, either, or I say overlay, but a thinner level of asphalt or concrete.
Thank you.
And I'd like to add, I'm very grateful to those who helped bring this funding source to our community and Senator Moran's office. Just very grateful. That was a big deal for us.
That's cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Move to approve the request for the engineering agreement, Springfield to finish engineering for the design rehab of runway 1836 with FAA grant of 110 match and $4,038,000. The city will pay a total of $509,393 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Moving on to E, consideration of the request to award bid for the Airport Road and Convention Center pavement improvements to APAC Kansas Incorporated in the amount of $413,373.55.
Madam Mayor, Commissioners, the city's looking to make improvements to the airport and convention center parking lots. The asphalt in the 2 parking lot areas need repaired. The asphalt has new potholes and the asphalt is starting to deteriorate. Call Valley developed a preliminary plans, construction estimates, and material requirements for the project. Call Valley advertised through the Daily Union City website. Direct solicitation and the formal bid opening was held on April 14th, and we received 3 qualified bids. APAC Kansas was $413,373.55. Schilling Construction Company was $470,326.11, and Buyer Construction was $564,486.25. The engineer's estimate for the project was for $430,886, and APAC was $17,512.45 below the engineer's estimate. City staff recommends the approval of the bid of $413,373.55 to APAC Kansas for the repairs for the airport and convention center parking lots, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Have we used APAC for previous services?
Yes, we have.
Were we satisfied with the results and cost of those
Yes, we were.
services?
They did, I think about 3 years ago, they did our street maintenance project.
Okay.
Did we stay in budget?
Yes.
change orders.
I did have a question about the convention center parking lot.
Mhm.
So, the hotel is purchased, by another entity, is that the convention center parking lot that we're talking about?
I
Do
can-
we
I
own?
can help you with that, because I voted against it. We had a proposal that Mr. Hammonds from Springfield, who was a multimillionaire, came here, and he said he would build a Marriott if we paid for the convention center and some of the infrastructure. And that was part of the commitment that we made when that was done, to take care of certain aspects of the parking lot, correct?
Correct. We are supposed to maintain that parking lot.
It's the whole parking lot?
It's the whole, around the convention center parking lot, just the convention center. Not the hotel, just the convention center.
You know where the line drawn, where?
Yes, we do.
Do we own that parking lot? Is that how that works?
Parking
Okay, thank
Yes, we
you.
do.
Okay.
If you look on Google Maps, you can see where it's pretty sliced, where the hotel has done theirs recently.
And we've done the same thing at the Waters parking lot too. We did that, block 39, very infamous block where we assumed that responsibility too.
Has that convention center been used lately?
I couldn't answer that question.
I can't,
Don't own it, don't know.
they're, I think we need to have some talks with them. They are not performing a lot of the conventions. We had, I think, a teachers' convention, a state convention that relocated to Hutchinson. And this was a, big deal for the city to get it. Built, Mr. Hammonds had a great reputation, but it cost the city over time. We paid for it.
City and county.
It was like I think the CVB contributed, was it X number of dollars a month for 15 years, I think. So we're committed on that. I asked for a referendum with the people. I was defeated 4-1. I wanted the people, if we're gonna spend $4 million or whatever it was, that we should let the people decide that. That wasn't the will of the commission.
I suppose the two thoughts I have teetering between my head right now are, as a city, we should certainly maintain our assets, but do we do so to the tune of 6 figures? If it's not being utilized frequently. I mean, I hate to ask this question, how bad is it?
Well, I think,
It is
we
bad.
could
There's-
revisit the agreement, but I doubt that there's much protection for the city in there if I would to just speculate.
The onus is on the hotel corporation to get conventions and things to come here. They used to have some pretty aggressive people that actually got teams that K-State would play football against to stay there the night before, practice over at the high school field before the game and get ready to go. But again, that's on the hotel to run that, get it filled, and be competitive in the pricing. There's some issues that is the biggest issue.
And the CVB too.
Yeah, I don't know about that relationship.
So
as much,
Convention
but-
Visitors Bureau,
Yeah,
that's where you hold conventions at, convention center. That's why they contributed, I think it was 50,000, maybe.
We've offered to give the parking lot to the hotel for nothing, and they wouldn't take it, so this is why.
So we have no recourse whatsoever, or nothing in contract of their obligations of what they're supposed to be bringing in?
I have no idea.
I think if you want to have it looked at.
I do.
We could have that happen before the next meeting. I don't know where the contract is. What, is it 15 years, right, or more?
That I couldn't tell you, Mr. Brenner.
So we own the parking lot.
Correct.
We're not getting rid of it.
But we do not
It's our asset. I
the
mean,
building.
If you want to call it that.
regardless of, holding their feet to the fire, I think it needs to be done regardless.
Sure. How often do we do this, Ray?
This is the first time we've done that ever since the,
20 years.
yeah, at least that.
Okay. Has to be
We
done.
could look at the contract though.
We should.
Before we act on this.
Well, it needs to be done regardless. I
We
mean,
have the bids, I mean, to try to spread those out between the airport and the convention.
Correct, you're talking two different parking lots
Still our
for that
asset
price.
needs to be done, but I agree, I mean, I think we should look at that contract and see what's going on there. And then, we get set some pointed questions to what's going on.
I agree as well.
Yeah, I'm disheartened that there used to be other things happen, but I've heard a lot of people just, they're not even.
Yeah, I don't know the facts, I hear a lot of hearsay stuff, but it would be nice to know what's really going on.
So, one more time for me in my note-taking sense, who is responsible for this? It is the CVB, the building, not the parking lot, for the convention center?
I don't know what the contract says about the CVB and the city. I don't know. There may be some obligation.
The city and the county paid for the building as well, I thought. I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay,
for the structure, the convention structure.
It's paid off now, but the city owns the parking lot, period.
okay,
Not the county owns.
okay, then, yeah, I will just,
Do we have any ownership in the convention center?
No.
I don't think so.
okay. Well, keep us close to heart as we look into that contract, please. Thank you. Otherwise, I will make a motion to approve as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay.
I'll say aye reluctantly.
Motion carries.
With the asterisk.
Terms and conditions may apply. Thank you, Mr. Ibarra.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, Commissioners.
F, consideration of the 3-year renewal of DG Care Services in the amount of $47,500 per year.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners. So DG Care, DG is Davenport Group. It's a vendor that we purchased our existing server hardware from back when Jim was still here. The renewal, this should be the last one that'll get us through the end of that server life cycle. Server life cycle is usually 10 years, so this will be the last 3 years, should take us through 2029. And then we'll need to be looking at replacements in either late 27 or early 28 to get it in place so that we can transfer everything over and go forward. But this will provide services to IT. They're subject matter experts in the management of the system that we have. We've used them whenever we've had to do major updates to the servers. I think the first maybe month that I was on the job, I think I crashed everything and took everything down to the city. They helped us get it back. They've more than made up for having them there to help us make sure we navigate everything because of our system is so complex. I would recommend approval for this.
Do you happen to know what the contract cost us in previous years, and through that, has there been an increase?
I don't know those numbers off the top of my head because the last one was signed 3 years ago, which I wasn't here. I'd have to go back and see if I can find that.
Odds are, it probably has.
Yeah.
I figured. I just like to know how much it hurts.
Yeah. I mean, on average, I think I'm seeing about 10% every year over year, so it's probably gone up.
I
Similar.
noticed, apologies, I noticed as well we went for the advise option. So we had advise and assist, and manage. Do we feel confident that the lower tier will still adequately serve our support needs?
Yeah. I mean, we manage the day-to-day. We really only reach out to them if we have a specific question or if we have those updates. They've got direct channels back to Dell for the vendor support. So when we do like those major updates, we get them on a phone call, they get Dell on a phone call, and the three of us kind of work together to make sure that update goes through and goes smoothly. And that's really what we use them for, is that advise aspect to make sure that we're not doing something wrong on our end that takes the system down.
Okay.
Move to approve the three-year renewal contract with DG Care Systems as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say nay. Motion carries. G, consideration of the Junction City Police Department request to purchase two 2026 Chevy Tahoes to replace Unit 204 and Unit 206 in the amount of $146,211.10.
Mayor, Commissioners, good evening. What we have before you is a request to approve purchase of two 2026 Chevy Tahoes from Serve, which is down in Andover, Kansas. We have purchased our last 7 police vehicles from Serve and have had really good experience with them. They're very quick. I think our normal turnaround is somewhere between 3 and 5 weeks for vehicles, which is very fast. These 2 vehicles are currently sitting on their lot and are being held for us pending approval, and then they will be built out. This cost is everything out the door. They will be ready to go minus striping to put the decals on the vehicles. All of the equipment will be installed and everything will be ready to go. Each vehicle is $73,107.55. That total is $146,211.10 for both vehicles. And again, these are out the door, ready to go, patrol-ready vehicles. That does mean that they are what's called police package vehicles. They have beefed up suspension and beefed up transmission. They do not have beefed up engines in them. They do not go faster than your normal vehicle does. But police work, yeah. So we have one that can catch you. Yeah. But we have enough dips in town that you can't go fast anyway. Right.
Puts those potholes out there for a reason.
Right. But the police work is very hard on transmissions and very hard on suspensions. That's why these are a little more beefed up. So they will replace 2 vehicles that are currently in the fleet. They are our older vehicles in the fleet. One is a 2017 Tahoe that's got 109,000 miles on it. The other one is a 2019 Tahoe that's got 155,000 miles on it. Both those vehicles will be sold at auction through Purple Wave, which is the company that handles all of our auctions. And that money will be put back into the budget to offset this cost, as well as provide that cushion for the striping and stuff on the vehicles. This is a budgeted expense. It is in the FY26 budget. We did not go out for bid on these vehicles. There is an exemption in the fiscal policy for police vehicles that does not require a bid process. That's because every place that builds police vehicles, they build them a little bit differently. They use a little bit different stuff. They're put together a little bit differently, and this just ensures continuity through the fleet when we're working on vehicles ourselves, and then when we're taking it back to companies to have stuff worked on. It's less stuff we have to stock. It's easier to work on because we already know where all the wires run, where all the relays are, that sort of thing. And again, this is a currently budgeted expense that is already has been budgeted for, but I'd be happy to answer any other questions.
What's the percentage of the fleet are Chevy Tahoes?
Chevy Tahoes, we have these 2 that we're getting rid of, are the only Tahoes we have left. In 2020, due to COVID, Chevy stopped making the police package Tahoes. We had no choice but to transition to the Dodge Durangos. That was the only thing we could get for the next 3.5 years. And we have had terrible luck with them. 2 years ago, we started going back to Chevy. Still could not get the Tahoes, and we were transitioning to the Silverados. We've had excellent luck with them, but the Tahoes provide a little bit more interior storage and room for equipment and that sort of thing that you don't get in the Silverados. And so this is the first year we've been able to get Tahoes again, so we'd like to get a couple.
So the mechanical issue, this is actually, they're not really matching up with the Durango, is that what you're saying?
Mechanically, no, but the build is the same. So the way that they run the wires and connectors that they use, all of the interior police components, all that stuff is similar.
Thank you.
Yep.
How much does the striping and decaling typically cost approximately?
It's usually about $1,500 a vehicle. It's not super expensive.
Confidently taken care of by that auction.
That is also already built into the budget, but yes, the auctioning off of those vehicles would definitely offset that cost.
Okay. Honestly,
Locally?
The striping, yes, honor prints all of our stuff.
okay.
Has anything happened with the vehicle y'all didn't get? And does this have something to do with that?
So no, we have a rotating replacement. So we try and replace 2 to 3 patrol vehicles every year so that we can slowly rotate the fleet out. The vehicle that we did not get, from my understanding, there's been conversation between Mr. Stites and the other party's attorney, and they're attempting to work that out and get that figured out. But I don't know a resolution on that.
Okay, so you don't think you're going to be getting that other vehicle, right?
At this time, no,
Not
I don't.
money thing, right?
At this time, I don't expect to get a vehicle.
We're trying
Okay.
to get our money back.
Yeah. What makes you decide when it's time to turn over a vehicle?
Mainly when we can get approval to get newer vehicles, and then we get rid of the vehicles that are costing us the most in maintenance and that have the highest mileage.
You also
So-
know how many miles you put on a year basically anyway, so you can pretty well track that stuff. And
Oh, yeah.
know what the program is, so.
So we put that out on our 515, how many miles we drive every 2 weeks. Our fleet and facilities manager, he tracks the amount of miles that go on a vehicle every single week, and he tracks what maintenance we have to do to each individual vehicle. And so we base the decision on what to transition out of the fleet based on how much money it's costing us to keep it.
The older Tahoe here has less miles than the newer one. Why is that?
So the older Tahoe was assigned to the school resource officers initially. They put less miles on the vehicle. Once our fleet began to get depleted due to mechanical issues and a couple of vehicles that were wrecked, those got transitioned into the fleet because we needed the vehicles. But that vehicle being the oldest vehicle is starting to cost more in maintenance and upkeep in terms of just wear and tear.
Last question. You got a lot of vehicles in front of the warehouse. Are those all gonna be sold, or are they gonna be retired?
Yes, all the vehicles on the side of the warehouse are being phased out and retired. Last year, when I brought the request forward to purchase vehicles last year, those are the vehicles that are ready to go from that retirement. It takes a while to get all of the equipment stripped out of them and ready for the auction. And then Purple Wave likes to have enough vehicles to come in and make it worth their while to photograph and put them on the auction. But yes, all the vehicles currently parked are due for auction.
So there's no resource to sell vehicles that are all equipped to smaller cities, or is there any?
So yes, we've explored that in the past. We're currently exploring that with our police motorcycle on selling it to another agency that may have need of it. We don't get a lot of call for that because typically police are pretty hard on vehicles. And most places try and purchase new when they can. The Highway Patrol has a better used vehicle purchase. They phase out vehicles starting between 40 and 50,000 miles, where most of ours have over 100,000 on them.
Do you get anything from the tear down of the equipment that you take out?
Most of the equipment that we take out goes into our next
You reuse it?
phase. Yep, we reuse it. Once it hits end of life, then we offer it to, we do have better luck with that, donating or selling to smaller agencies equipment that has reached its peak with us from interior stuff.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 6, unfinished business. Consideration of the 3-month extension on the dangerous and unsafe structure located at 338 West 15th Street.
Mayor,
Excuse me, since I don't vote on this one, I'll leave the room. I discussed that as we did this.
Mayor's Commissioner, Christopher Strackes, Community Development Director. This is gonna be a little long-winded, but I'll get to the point as fast as I possibly can. Because this is a new commission, I'll start from the beginning and go over some of the important details. In March of 21, or March 21st of 23, a resolution 3036 was for a public hearing was held for the address at 338 West 15th Street. That resolution was sent out by certified mail, or excuse me, to the property owner by registered or certified mail in March of 23. It was put in the Daily Union for that hearing on March 29th of 23 and also April 5th of 23. On May 16th of 2023, there was a public hearing where the commission approved resolution 3053, deeming the structure dangerous and unsafe, allotting that the owner 120 days until September of 23 to either repair or remove the structure. Skipping forward a little bit, on October 3rd of 23, Martin Toth was approached the owner and the commission to let them know that he was in the process of purchasing said property. The commission granted an extension to Mr. Toth on November 7th of 23 to conclude the contractual sale. In November 7th of 23, Mr. Davis confirmed that the contract sale has been obtained and Martin Toth was provided a plan of action to include fixing the structure. On jumping forward a little bit further, on February 6th of 24, Mr. Toth provided proof that the property ownership was transferred. February 8th of 2024, a permit was applied for the repairing and replacing of the doors, the windows, repairing of the framing accessory with the door, the windows, and any other work. On August 6th of 2024, an update was given to the commission. Martin Toth stated at that time that he had paid the $7,000 in back taxes that were due on the property and also had secured a $15,000 loan for the property to improve the property. He was requested a 90-day extension, which the commission did approve. As of November 5th of 24, the commission then granted another 2-week extension, seeing that there was no significant improvements being made during that period. November 19th of 2024, the commission again granted another 2-week extension. Due to other priorities, the items was suspended and went to January 7th of 25, with the permit extending to allow more time for improvements. On January 7th of 2025, the City Commission granted a 90-day extension until April 7th of 25 for Mr. Toth to make the required repairs for the structure of the interior and exterior. On February 5th, Martin Toth reached out to the Building Codes Department requiring the necessary steps to make those improvements and to ensure that he was within standards of the Building and Codes Department. Jumping forward a little bit further, on April 5th or April 15th of 2025, the City Commission approved a 6-month extension through October 13th of 2025. The extension was granted specifically for the completion of the following items: weather sealing of the windows, patching of the siding, and the replacement of the roof. No improvements have been made during the 6-month extension from Mr. Toth. The City Commission on April 15th of 2025, another 6-month, or excuse me, I'm sorry, I jumped ahead there, wrong date. Another 6-month extension was then granted for the 3 items on October 21st of 2025. During that period, I will say that Mr. Toth has been communicating. He did ask about certain products that he would like to use to make those improvements with the City Codes Department to ensure that he stays in compliance. Another 6 months, I already went over that, I'm so sorry. As of right now, he has been, again, he has been communicating with my department. There has been minimal progress for the property since January 3rd of 2025. I, as the city staff, am recommending a grant of a 3-month extension during this period. Mr. Toth would be required to fully weather seal the windows, maintain and ensuring that the maintaining of their maintaining of the windows are operable under the Fire Code of 2018, and completely replacing the roof from the fire damage that was done. Following the completion of this work, additional improvements will still be necessary to complete the interior renovations to ensuring that the structure is habitable during this time. So at this time, I am requesting a 3-month extension for Mr. Toth to fully complete the 3 items, which is weather sealing the windows and ensuring that they're fully operable, and completing the replacement of the roof. And I'm here to take any questions at this time.
I'd like to notate, Mr. Toth contacted me about a month ago asking for insight and guidance regarding this consideration, and I believe I'd made some contact with our staff as well. And through that, I did give him some marching orders, if you will, of if we are to continue extending this in good faith, that we would need to see that facilitation, which it sounds like that has been pursued. I talked to him about a month ago, so it sounds like since late March he has made contact with you. He has pursued this guidance. He has reconnected that facilitation of communication with the city.
So he has facilitated communication. What I will say is during that communication, he'll come up with one idea. We'll go ahead and approve that because it does meet the safety codes under the 2012 IRC. And then a few minutes later, he'll come back to us with another idea for the same project.
Okay.
So I guess my concern is he has intentions of doing it, but he hasn't pulled the trigger on it.
No
3 years.
execution.
3 years.
I will state that some of the issue was the back taxes, which I know is why we
Is there a general contractor on this job?
no,
He's doing it
Commissioner.
himself?
He is doing it
What
himself
is it
as the,
being, what is it being remodeled for?
I believe he's using it as, you would like to use a primary residential? Primary
Primary
residence,
residence.
yes,
And he's doing the work himself,
correct.
which we know is not right.
So as a landowner, you can, as a homeowner, you under the regulations.
Not if it's not your primary residence and you're not living in it.
I don't think that's how the code is written, Commissioner, but I can double check for you.
There's a lot that needs to go on here. Is this financing? Is this?
Mr. Toth, since you're here, would you like to come and speak to us about this circumstance? Thank you.
Well, first, thank you for the opportunity to speak with you all, and thank you for the time that I've been allotted in the past. I am a federal employee, and last October during the furlough, I was one of the federal employees that was required to work even though we weren't getting paid. And that has hampered my most recent efforts.
Did you finally get paid?
Yes, sir, but that doesn't cover interest and late fees, sir. And I have had other unanticipated expenses, such as last summer, a tree came down in my backyard and took out the electric service to my primary residence. And I've also had to complete the cleanup of the tree. In addition, around August, a vandal broke the window out of the back of my vehicle, and that also required out-of-pocket expenses that did not, it was within like $10 of my deductible type of situation, so it wasn't fruitful to try to apply to a insurance company for payment. So I've experienced some setbacks. It's
Is your
slowed me down.
intention to live in this property?
Yes, ma'am.
And you have a primary residence right now?
Currently living somewhere else.
What is your expectation for completion for this to be lived in?
I am currently still collecting estimates from contractors to decide what approach is best. I'm still doing some planning. I would like to change my focus away from the roof and more towards getting utilities on in the property.
If you've got a hole in your roof and water is coming in, you're doing more damage by the day.
There is no hole in the roof. There is no water coming
What
in
is
there.
the hole in the ceiling from?
On the interior, at one time there was a fire at the said residence, and the fire department had to cut through the.
So it's on the inside, it's not leaking from the outside?
Correct. But if you look at the pictures on there, you could see that the patch job that was done for the outer part of the roof was not done correctly. It does sag. I have not had access to the interior to actually fully look at the I-beams within the roof, or the rafters, excuse me.
Is there mold?
That I do not know.
So if the extension isn't approved, Chris, what happens?
So if the extension is not approved, then the next step would be for me to gather all the documentation and bring forth for us to tear down said residence.
Would you be interested in selling the building?
I have been exploring that. I have not found a agreeable buyer.
So you took out a loan in August of 2024 for $15,000. What have you done with that money?
A significant part of that was to pay the back taxes, and I have had people assist me on some of the work. I bought some
Not a
material.
construction loan.
No.
It was a loan just to buy the property. This thing's a lot more than $15,000 to fix. I've heard a lot of these same discussions on multiple occasions. He's had plenty of time. It's just not gonna happen.
It's not.
I mean, you had, bless your heart, you tried, but.
Yeah, this is a huge scope of work. And it's probably gonna cost you well over 65 to do it, at least. I don't wanna see it torn down, but I just don't know that you have a real plan of action here for the scope of work that needs to be done. And
Not to cut you off, Commissioner, so there is an initiative that we could bring forth that I've been working on over this last year. The CDBG does a residential rehabilitation program. It's a grant for up to $300,000 that we can apply for. With that $300,000, it allows us to allot a certain amount of money to rehabilitate houses, but also demolish houses. I know a lot of cities and counties throughout the state have been utilizing that program. Again, I would have to bring forth to you guys the documentation on what that would require. Again, I think the allotment per property for that initiative would be only $25,000. I don't think that would be enough to do all of the repairs, make it habitable, and then put it back on the market. But that is an option for not tearing it down. Again, there is also other options where a buyer could come in and we can have that initiative as well.
I'd like to make a comment. The subject is dangerous and unsafe structure, and it's been around for a long time as a dangerous and unsafe structure. I also, again, the amount of time that's been put in trying to make it work, things to consider.
are you able to get a loan to complete this property?
I believe that I can, but I need time to recover from the late fees and interest from the furlough situation.
Okay, this seems like it's been a real hardship on you. Do you want to complete this property?
Yes, ma'am. I have intentions to move there.
Hey, Chief Lankus,
Yes.
what do you see as a fire hazard for this building, for the city?
Yes, I was just gonna ask if there's electricity still there with
No.
that burnt rafter.
There are no utilities on or assigned to that property as of right
There's
now.
no way he's gonna be able to get this building finished. I would like to think a thought, depending on the price, buying it for the city and then using it for the fire department to train on, and then tearing it down, demolishing it, and we'd own the lot, and we could do the rehab thing or whatever later on with another house on that lot. There's no way this is gonna get finished, none.
And Mr. Davis is here. I don't know if you want to contribute anything to the conversation.
Yeah, I would just like to speak to the,
And is it okay if everybody uses the mic? I think that's what the committee is asking for. Thank you.
my name is Vic Davis, I'm with the Rory Davis Law Firm.
Mr. Davis, could you approach the microphone, please? Thank you, sir.
I'd like to speak to the dangerous and unsafe designation of this property. I don't think it's dangerous and unsafe anymore. When the city first started working on this, the property was empty. It was open to the public. People were going in there. The roof had a hole on it, had a hole in it. The owner was dead. Mr. Toth knew about the property, knew the former owners, I forget which, contacted them, did the necessary work in court to get the heirs located, bought the property, has secured the roof so there's no leaking in it. There's no one living in the property. There's no utilities. The property is safe, it's locked, nobody can get in. There was a lot of trash and limbs and whatnot in the yard. That has been cleaned up. The yard has been kept presentable. I think the property is comparable to other properties as far as outward appearance, and I don't think the property is unsafe and dangerous anymore. It's taken Mr. Toth a long time to get this done. He wants to do it. I think he can get it done, and I'd like to see this taken off of that designation. He can work with the city, get building permits, and get this project completed.
And then Chief Lankus, did you get a chance to come forward and, I don't know if, Chief Lankus, I didn't know if he had a chance to say everything he needed to say.
I'm good. Chris Dragness answered that question on the utilities. If there's no utilities, then that's safe. So on our side with no electrical or gas hazard to it.
So at this point, and this may be a question for Mr. Strackengas, are there any present or lacking conditions that would continue to designate this as a dangerous and/or unsafe structure?
So the object of this program is to ensure within a timely manner that once it gets designated off of this program, it is habitable. So they may not see, again, just because we're looking at the outside of a building and it looks safe and not dangerous, doesn't mean that the inside of that building is not dangerous and unsafe. I can tell you now, looking from the outside of the building, if you look at that one half of the roof, that was not done correctly. I'm sure that there's not a rafter there, which is gravity loads and things of that nature for that roof. I mean, that's just a ticking time bomb for it to fall through. There are holes within the roof, within the interior. We don't know what the interior looks like as far as electrical or things of that nature. So I would not be confident of taking that off, because once I take that off, then he does have the option of hooking up electricity, gas, and water to that, and who knows what that would propose.
Thank you, Mr. Strackengas. Mr. Toth, I have a couple questions for you.
Yes, ma'am.
As it's brought before us today, our understanding of this request is if we do grant you this 3-month extension, you will fully weather seal these windows, maintain their operability, and complete replacement of the roof. Do you feel confident you could complete all of those tasks to code in that 3-month period?
The windows, I have no doubt. The pictures don't show it, but those windows have been sanded and they're being prepped to be painted. The estimates for the roof are not within my limits at the present time. I would like to describe a little better that patch job. There is only one layer of shingles put over to fill an area that the rest of the roof has at least 3 levels of shingles on. So that's why there's a dip. That could be revisited, and there wouldn't be a dip It wouldn't be as offensive in appearance as it is now. Also, on either side of the patch is where the the roof structure was on that particular house. Bear in mind, it was built to an older code. So some of the wooden structure is farther apart than today. And again, there are a number of houses in this town that were built to that older standard, and they're comparable to condition of this one.
Have
What-
you had
what
a
does-
roofer look at it?
What decided that the extension to be offered today was 3 months? Mr. Schreckendass, was that you? Did Mr. Toth request this 3-month
No,
period?
that was mine, due to the fact, understanding that Mr. Toth is a federal employee, also understanding that this is a new commission, with 3 new commissioners. I wanted to present it to you, but also in good faith, try to give them at least one last time. We were coming into warmer months, also doing a little research of my own. Mr. Toth does own 2 properties within the city limits. Looking at appraisal values, both properties are valued to combined a little over $20,000, or $120,000, excuse me, which gives estimates of being able to pull out loans or HELOCs or things of that nature to be able to get that.
Come to the microphone, thanks.
Sorry. So with that estimate, he does have the opportunities to secure these monies. So in good faith, I was giving you guys the opportunity to make the best decision. My decision was, I think 3 months is enough to get it completed. And if it's not completed, I don't have any more extensions.
Mr. Schreckendass, I agree with your sentiment. I believe 3 months after let me take a step back. Life happens fast, and I agree that life happens fast, and I sympathize with that deeply. I think the items presented to be accomplished during this 3-month period would not only be a testament of the ability to further sustain this project, but also a testament to your willingness to make a grand improvement on this property. Candidly, if we approved this 3-month extension and we did not see this window and roof work to be done, I do also agree that I don't know that we could continue to grant extensions. Now, if we did see that work completed, I would be receptive to then discussing the additional work to be done and then determining timelines for that. But if I do make this motion and it is passed today, I do hope to receive an update 3 months from today that all of that work has been done beautifully up to code, that we're excited about it, and we look forward to future work.
He has had plenty of opportunity. He doesn't have the finances to do it. It's not gonna happen.
I think we're setting him up for failure to give him 3 months and to expect the roof to be done. I don't see that. And that's why I was asking if you can get a loan to complete the project, and if you could, great, I'll give you a year. I understand. 3 months to get this stuff done and a roof that is gonna probably cost you 12 grand. And do you know if you have to replank it? Have you had a roofer look at it?
Yes, I have had roofers look at it, and one roofer is confident that it would pass, that the planking would pass as it is. Another one is, well, he's not willing to make that commitment. So, and actually, sir, it's not the fire damage. It's that 80 years ago when the property was built, the planks that were allowed and acceptable may not be acceptable today. And that won't really be clear until the roofing material is removed and we can do a mid-roof inspection.
If we grant this extension and this work is not completed in that time, are you prepared for us to take further action and no longer grant these extensions. Do you understand that is a very confident possibility at this time?
I recognize that's a very real possibility.
I make a motion to approve the 3-month extension as presented.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Nay.
Since we're 50-50 here, what's the move?
So I asked this question a while ago, what happens? And he says, it's not a done issue until someone switches sides. You gotta keep talking about it until someone switches sides.
I
Now,
think if
I
Mr.
may,
Oh,
I'm not allowed to
sorry.
vote, but I can say, I can give comment, okay, city manager, I have all
Yes.
the rights to give comment, I just can't vote. I think setting him up for failure is what's happening by giving him the 3 months. It's not gonna happen in 3 months. You directly ask him the question, if you give him another 3 months, is he gonna be able to do this? And you can't answer the question on the affirmative. It's gonna keep getting worse, worse, and worse, and it's not gonna go anywhere except back to you every 3 months.
We've done this time and again, guys, I'm telling you, this isn't brand new, this is what we see every.
It's before I got here.
In the past, when we've granted these extensions, have we made it clear this would be the last time?
You know what, truthfully, the commission has,
We can't
but
get
they
work
keep
done
going.
outside of it.
Yeah, they keep going.
My problem is this, there's value, there's money spent, there's finances already in the house. I hate to take that away because government says so. I think he is trying to get it done. He may lack the resources, I understand that. Hopefully things will turn around for you. You could take maybe a helo out on your house and put the funds into this. If you have 2 other properties, maybe you can sell one so that you can get this moving. I don't think 3 months is gonna get this done. I think we're gonna expect to see you back, but if the things are at least completed by then, I'm all for it. I don't like taking property from people.
I agree wholeheartedly, Commissioner, and candidly, if Mr. Toth is asking for a final opportunity to fail one more time, and it's not going to cost us any money to let him fail one more time, I'm going to grant that, as long as it's clear through my motion that this will be the last extension to
So do-
fulfill these needs.
So do we simply just, somebody just says, because I'll say it's okay to wait 3 months, if, you know, is that how you, I don't know legally how you do
Do
it.
I
Request to
remake
make
the
another
motion?
motion.
I repeat my previous motion to allow for the 3-month extension with the understanding that this is the last extension to be provided.
I'm gonna second that, but if he has the work done, I think he should have
Yes,
another extension.
with the context of understanding of seeing profound movement, certainly.
Could you clarify that motion? Would you mind clarifying that motion again,
Yes,
please?
the purpose of my motion is to understand that we will no longer tolerate lackluster action, that we must see profound action close to completion, if not completion, to entertain this extension.
Now, you better define those items. What is completion?
So,
Yeah, that's what we need to know.
Commissioner, my request for the 3-month was for the full repairs of the weather sealing of the windows while maintaining operability of the windows and a complete replacement of the roof. That for the 3-month extension. That was what I am recommending to the commission today.
Commissioner Nimzik, I know this is a field you're very tenured within. Within your knowledge base, how close to completion do you believe Mr. Toth could receive if he achieved funding tomorrow and immediately lined up his estimates?
I mean, you could have the roof done in a week, depending on how fast you get a guy there. I don't think the windows are worth saving. I think they need replaced, but if they're gonna meet the minimum requirement, I'm okay with it. And that is just elbow grease. So, I mean, I think this can definitely be done in 3 months, could be knocked out, plus some. It's just gonna take the money to do it, the roof. And if I'm not mistaken, Chris, once they strip that roof and it needs replanked, it does need to meet current code.
That is correct. So yes, if the 1x1 planking that was used in the old code of roofing does not meet our new code, then they would have to go to I believe it's a 5/8 OSB planking that would need to be redone for the mid roof to pass. before they can lay shingles down.
Mr. Toth, you prepared for that risk?
Yes, ma'am.
I make a motion to grant the 3-month extension with the expectation of completed work as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion?
Yes. Can you please put a date for that 3 months extension? Has to be done by a specific date.
Yes, sir. Allow me to bring up my calendar one moment. I would like it to align with a commission meeting so that way we can approach accordingly. 1, 2, 3. So the next city commission meeting 3 months from now would be exactly 3 months, in fact. It would be July 21st. I will say that the deadline for that will be July 21st with the expectation that we may not see it until August 4th, since Mr. Strackengas may need to do legwork once that 3-month extension ends.
Is your motion also saying that this is the last extension or not that portion?
This is the last extension.
Thank you.
Does everybody feel like that's clear?
Last extension for these things to be done, yes.
So let's go ahead and take a vote. All those in favor respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay.
Nay.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Toth.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Mr. Strackengas.
So, public comments. Mary Snipes.
Long time no see, Miss Mary.
I know,
Please state your name and address for the record and limit your comments to 5 minutes, please.
Mary Snipes, 222 East 15th Street, Junction City, Kansas, 66441. So good evening, Mayor, Assistant Mayor, Commissioners. So I've been missing in action. Tonight, this evening, started Everytown Support Groups. And of course, the groups that were offered are bereaved parents, all gun violence survivors, survivors of suicide, wounded survivors, caring for ourselves in a chaotic world. If anyone is interested, they can most definitely feel free to contact everytown.org. Something else that I want to mention is that I participated in JCPD 2026 Citizens Police Academy. I want to thank the Community Involvement Unit, Sergeant Burgers, Torres, Winkton, Chief Nichols, Assistant Chief Odell, and everyone else involved. I cannot tell you guys enough about this experience. Of course, I had a lot of questions, and I think with my family's lived experience, we will continue to have more questions. It changed the way I understand public safety and community partnership. It gave me real insight into the duties, responsibilities, and daily operations of law enforcement. Too often, people form opinions based on assumptions rather than knowledge. This experience reminded me that we should not assume what the police department does. We should take the opportunity to learn, ask questions, and become informed citizens. When communities understand how their police departments actually function, it builds trust, accountability, and stronger relationships. That is why I believe every resident should have access to programs like the Citizens Police Academy. Because informed citizens create stronger, safer communities. I obtained several items of completion. A certificate, and I got a badge. I was really informed that I couldn't use my badge to arrest anyone, but I wished I had the privilege, well, I know, right? Woo! Privilege of privilege of arresting speeders and those individuals riding bumpers, riding bumper to bumper. So I just wanted to mention that. Citizens, get out there, get involved, make your voice known and heard. Of course, Wear Orange is coming up. June 5th will be the 12th National Gun Violence Awareness Day, followed by Wear Orange Weekend, June 6th through the 7th of 2026. Wear Orange is a non-political, non-partisan campaign that amplifies, focus, and seeks the education of awareness for gun violence prevention.
Miss Mary, I'm going to pause you for a moment. Mr. Darrow, can you pause the timer? I'd like to let Miss Mary complete her speech. Thank you. Continue.
Oh, well, thank you. That was good. Okay, thank you. So in other words, this event will not include electoral activity or legislative activity. I am here to suggest that this annual event that we've been doing for some years now, that it should be held Sunday, June 7th at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Any thoughts?
You're in early enough, I'm open.
Commissioners?
Has the city helped to support these events in the past? Is there anything that we can facilitate with this?
You know what? I just want to, wow. I get so emotional. The police department, Parks and Rec, they have, and of course, commissioners, you guys are new commissioners, ex-mayor Landers, if I'm saying that correctly, but everyone has, and Kim has done such a tremendous job over the past years of asking, do you need anything? Can we help you with anything? So we just need to have a date and go from there.
Sounds good to me. I'll get my orange, maybe I'll redo my hair.
And everybody who comes out, make sure you wear your orange. If you don't have orange, that's okay. Just come as you are. Last year, individuals that were there had a chance to meet Hydea Pendleton's mom through FaceTime, which I thought that was very neat to have you guys to get a chance to see my, who I call my Auntie Chloe. So do you guys have any questions for me?
Keep us posted and let us know what we can do to help.
We'll do that.
Congratulations on your graduation.
I know, thank you. And, oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
If I could get the okay from you guys, if I could use my badge for at least one day, please.
We're gonna have to trump that.
I just want to say that was super inspirational. Thank you.
Oh.
It really, it means a lot for our community to stand up and say good things when a lot of the time they're standing up and saying bad things. And we really need this attitude. And if we could all have this attitude, we could make a bigger difference. I really appreciate you saying that.
Let it be known, I have had some bad things to say. I have.
Me too.
But I think when you see how things are done without listening to a majority of individuals in our community. I have stood in front of a lot of individuals that have higher positions where I truly feel that if you don't say something, who will? And I mentioned that earlier today. So, thank you guys for listening.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right. Moving on to commissioner comments and committee reports. Commissioner Panera.
Sure. First of all, I want to thank Mr. Zimmerman for taking care of the resolution of the B&W cab building out on Grant Avenue. It is gone, and that's good. It didn't look safe to me. Also, I'm pleased to see that the southeast corner and the southwest corner of Franklin and 8th are now renovated, and I think the southeast corner was in disrepair for over a year. When the interim city manager was here, it was in that condition. And also the entrance to the county driver's license building has been repaired. That was kind of like unexpected, but that needed to be done. It's a county problem, but I guess we're working that out between them and the city. I do want to talk about two things. I think the building that collapsed down in the 600 block, I'd like to hear some options for the city, what we can do.
Are you, is this on North Washington, 600 block?
What did I say?
You just said 600 block.
Yeah, I should have said North Washington.
Okay.
Which, is that Godfrey's building? Okay.
I'd like to know what options we have. It's been over a year since that collapse occurred. Some people thought that the owner was getting special favors from the city commission. That wasn't the case. We were hoping that a grant would be awarded and it would be renovated by now, and I guess that we didn't meet the deadline. I think the mayor may know that more about that. But I'd like to know what options we have and for reimbursement if we have to do some demolition. Fourth thing, and I'm going to be done. Last year at this time, I talked about Rather Field. We haven't done much other than the 2 new girders. I think that is a highly visible and visited place, and I'd like to see some things done to the planters. I'd like to see the curbs painted. I'd like to see some paint put on the fence, especially those that are highly visible to people in the parking lot and in the garden area. And I think we need a little patch in the entrance. So I talked about it over a year ago, and I haven't seen anything done, and I think it's disappointing to me, candidly, and I'm sure that we need to put our best foot forward, and I think I'd like to see some action taken there. That's all. Thank you.
Commissioner Nimzek.
I'd just like to add on to that. Is there any maybe local groups, kids groups that could paint fences and things like that? Maybe Boy Scouts where they could donate their time, to spruce things up.
I'd like to
Like
follow with
that?
that. About 2 years ago, before I was on the commission, I tried to see if we could get a project for people that couldn't pay their fines, a certain length of the fence done, or give them some paint, let them paint it as a work, to work off their fines. That wasn't received by the administration at the time, but they were talking about, well, maybe they could paint the bathrooms. Well, nothing happened. So I think that's a great idea, and I still think the idea of letting.
I'd love to get the community involved where we're not just going, is it in budget? I said I'd love to get the community involved where we're just not asking, is it in budget, and paying high dollar to get professional painters out there when we could maybe include the community.
Yeah, well, it needs to be done. We've got unpainted fences and we're talking about other people not having their things painted or fixed. We need to set an example.
I
Good idea. That's all.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Commissioner Landis?
I think we need more parking right there. We had a plan to do that, and Mr. Panera didn't want to do that because it was expensive, but I think we need a lot more parking out there.
Well,
Planning stuff on me that we got, stuff that could be moved out of the way and removed, and we got old restroom facilities out there that need to go. There's a way to do that, and Mr. Osborne has a plan to do it, and I'd like to see that happen sometime, whether it takes a few years to get it done, but whatever, start putting some money in the pot and do it.
well, we locked the bathrooms, so I don't understand. I mean, I'd like to see them
The
open.
ones that don't work or what?
I don't know, they're just locked. And secondly, the parking, now we're doing a new parking lot by 12th Street right now, it's underway. That'll be brand new parking. I think there's enough parking for the facility, in my opinion. And we could do some counts, but if it's something that's highly visited, we should fix it up. And that was done, we spent $350,000 back when I was in the commission last time to fix that place up. And there's been nothing done except these new girders.
Mr. Gray,
And a new building.
Mr. Gray?
So the fence, repainting the fence, we're working on trying to get a grant to get that replaced because that fence is old and has fallen down a bunch of times. And I would hate to waste
It's fallen down because we haven't maintained it.
Correct. I mean, it's an old fence. It's gonna fall down with the winds we have. So we're trying to get a grant.
Even fences that houses stand the test of time if you paint them.
Josh, look, just don't worry about it. I got it. I got it covered. You can just sit down, because you're gonna argue with them, and it's not gonna go anywhere. Just sit down.
The next thing,
Trust me.
I want to thank everybody that came out for Earth Day on Saturday. I'm sure somebody's got the statistics of everything that was done. Pretty good community response. Mayor was there and worked me to death out there that day. I wasn't very happy about it, but we did it anyway. Former City Commissioner Larson was there as well, and she was also cracking the whip. So anyway, city staff did a great job. It's extremely well organized, well done. Buses for people that get them out to the areas and very safely done. Water for everybody, work clothes and all that. So well done, staff. Thank you.
Vice Mayor Yoskovitz?
I'll start with the hard topics first, folks. As you may have heard, while I was out of town, there was a discussion about data centers in an EDC meeting, and I only know this because a multitude of rightfully concerned citizens contacted me about it. I would like to express today the same commentary that I shared on social media, with the knowledge in mind that last night at the county commission meeting, they did discuss a moratorium for the county. They've not placed one, but they have requested their legal counsel to look into the development of a moratorium. A moratorium, if you do not know, is a temporary bar from these developments. So with that in mind, I would like to share my considerations when it comes to data centers in Junction City. As someone who works in IT, I will acknowledge, especially in today's world, that AI and data centers are not going anywhere. Even if you do not use AI yourself, many of the websites and resources that we use today rely on that technology more and more. Scrolling Facebook, shopping online, searching on the internet, these tools are firing in the background on behalf of you. The placement of these facilities is also important because the closer or farther away you are from one will impact their connectivity. With these considerations in mind, I do not believe Junction City is the place to put a data center at this time. Our electrical grid and water supply are in no way, shape, or form ready to support a data center, even at a small scale. There are experimental technologies being developed to mitigate those things, but they are in no way, shape, or form ready to support them. Additionally, the pollution produced by these data centers would be something we would have to mitigate. The technology to navigate that is also in no place for us to consider at this time. And that's also not including the cost and or incentives to bring in the technologies for the electric, for the water, for the pollution. Some people will talk about them bringing in jobs. Candidly, I don't see it. I know that it creates construction needs. Many of these construction jobs are outsourced. Even if those construction workers stay here and spend here, the economic output would be small and short-lived. Once they're here, they are very, very small in the job market. They do not hire a lot of people. The people they hire typically have pre-existing IT or electrical degrees, which, to my knowledge, through searching through Cloud Community College, is not a pre-existing education base here. I will note transitioning military members do have better access to that education at this time. And this is also not including the potential cost of emergency response, because these bad boys have a lot of lithium batteries, and that is a huge fire risk that our city and county would have to mitigate, God forbid something happened. So as it stands, I want to make it known as a city commissioner, I do prioritize bringing in revenue and expanding our tax base, but I still have to do it with a sense of morality and risk mitigation. Through that, I am currently opposed to bringing a data center to Junction City at the cost of polluting one of our largest assets, being nature, producing jobs that we can't fill with our existing accessible workforce, and compromising our utilities. I will also note, many of these conversations are very early and speculative. Today is not tomorrow. Perhaps things will change, and if you are more educated than myself, I am very receptive to talking to you and learning more from you. And as I mentioned earlier, the county is having discussions about moratoriums at this time. A moratorium has not been placed, but I would expect them to revisit that conversation in the very near future. So I want to share that information. Even as we were sitting in this meeting, I've received a lot of messages concerned about these data center conversations, and as always, I will keep everyone informed as they progress.
Are you proposing a moratorium?
I am not proposing one. I am simply expressing my stance and educating others on the county level moratorium being presented.
I said I will.
I don't know that we have,
I would support a 3-year moratorium.
I don't know that our legal counsel is prepared to advise that tonight. I would be receptive in the near future.
I just told him to get with Britton to have a discussion on this before we move forward with it.
Excellent, yes. And again, I would also advise that we work with the county's council as well to understand, because they had their meeting in the evening last night, and I will note one of the reasons they did not immediately implement this moratorium is because of the different types of data centers, and they wanted to make sure that we may have to implement multiple moratoriums to be intentional with this, so.
I heard that where they talked about their smaller data centers that might not cause the same impact, but the big ones use a lot of water, and I'm not for that.
Yep, so.
The crypto data centers too, the crypto mining.
Yeah, the data centers do a lot more than AI. People believe data centers are because of AI. AI uses data centers, not all data centers support AI. So, again, I am not for them for a multitude of reasons. I am very open to being educated upon them. The county is already pursuing one. If we also wish to pursue one, I would just ask that we also speak with what their council is pursuing and have a collaborative effort in that. So, outside of data centers, let's talk about chickens. Everybody loves chickens. So I've been having conversations with some of our city staff about chickens. It's springtime. I'd like to revisit this topic soon, but I want to do it the right way in respect to the staff who will be impacted when it is legalized. I'm going to speak that into existence, when chickens are legalized. So I had conversations with our assistant chief of police regarding animal control. Even though I don't want to put this on the shelter, I've also talked to the shelter to give them a heads up, and Mr. Strackengast has been informed to be ready to have these conversations so we can know what the future holds. So there is more to come, but be ready for that. Outside of data centers and chickens, I do want to note that the Kansas African American Affairs Commission for District 2 was recently in Junction City. They hosted an excellent town hall where we saw a lot of constructive conversation about the needs of our citizens, the large and small scale political engagement of these citizens, all sorts of great things. I'm very thankful to Dr. Crystal Davis for bringing that to Junction City. District 2 is quite large. She could have put it many places, but she chose Junction City, and I'm extra thankful for that. I look forward to continue working with them to understand what we can do for our people. And the last thing I will mention is we have the Community Cleanup Week actively going on. We've got dumpsters all over the place. The one pain point I am hearing from citizens on multiple platforms is they don't have a truck. They don't have a way to get their stuff to the dumpsters. I did put a sign-up form on my social media to help facilitate people who need this help. I'm collecting volunteers and I'm collecting citizens in need. If you have a truck and muscles and you are willing to help move someone's washer or their trash to the dumpster for them, I will help you with gas money. That is not something the city is endorsing or paying for. This is out of my own pocket. So if you need that assistance or you're willing to volunteer, please fill out that form. In the couple hours that I've posted it, I've actually received an overwhelming amount of support from people with trucks willing to do that work. So I thank them as well. And that's all that I have today. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to share that I was able to attend the Main Street America National Conference in Tulsa. A reminder that the Transformation Strategy visit for Main Street America, for Junction City Main Street, is May 5th and May 6th. May 6th from 2 to 2:45 is for elected officials and that kind of thing. May 6th, 3 to 3:45 is business and property owners downtown, and May 6th, 4 to 4:45 is for the community, and it will be held at Flint and Vine. That's the Transformation Strategy visit for downtown, which will give guidance for the next 3 to 5 years. The RERC is still out there. I've said it repeatedly, May 27th and May 28th. Do hope to see you there, and registration is required. So, and then I'll just leave it short like that. And so, Mr. Zimmerman, do you want to go ahead then?
Thanks, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Commissioners. First thing is, in May, I will bring a briefing to you on reducing the water rate, utility rates for the citizens of the city, and I will give you a complete brief on how we recommend that to happen. We will also bring a resolution to enact the Law and Ordinance Committee in May, so we can begin moving forward with law and ordinance changes to the ordinance as a team. Homeless Task Force update. A lot of people are asking me about what's going on with the Homeless Task Force. We'll give you an update on that next month too as well, because there's a lot of moving pieces on that, including the different entities between city, county, et cetera. The FLAP grant, you saw the $3 million grant is moving forward. So kudos to Chris and his staff, Bryce, getting that submitted and moving forward on that. We'll just wait for the next step. The DSIP grant is now open. We will start having our meetings again to move forward with the DSIP grant for Grant Avenue. We're still waiting to hear back on the build grant, which was about 20 million, I think, I can't remember, but that's supposed to be announced sometime in June. The VA one's supposed to be sometime in April, May. The water treatment plant is supposed to be done by 1 August. So that whole project's supposed to be done by 1 August. We had a meeting today. There's a couple more expenditures I gotta talk about, but bottom line, it should be done by 1 August. We also are working the issue on Grant Avenue. You saw the potholes down there. And I already got your emails and texts about the curbs and painting and stuff, so we're working on that stuff, sir. Can you pull up that picture, please? I was in Europe last week. Mr. Pannier beat me there. You can obviously see it's a worldwide problem. So it's not just Junction City. They're looking at spending $90 million on their potholes around that area. So it's not just Ray planting potholes in the cities for the police work. It is worldwide. So, any of your questions, that's my brief.
I love that. Thank you, Mr. Zimmerman.
Mr. Henkin, please.
There's not much to report. I would thank all of you for allowing me to stand in for Mr. Stites while he's chasing characters around Disney World right now. But aside from that, legal department's doing well, and we'll look into all of the issues that you guys presented and get back to you next month.
Thanks. Mr. Wilcox.
I want to add a funny, Kim. I was in southern Italy and the potholes were 3 times the size of that.
Were they?
I was in southern Italy and the potholes were way bigger than that.
Should we strive for that?
Nothing tonight.
Yeah.
Nothing tonight.
Is that everything?
Yeah.
Mrs. Diaz-Lorenzo, Mr. Farrow, Chief Lankus, Mr. Ibarra.
Nothing to see.
Mr. Osborne, Mr. Dieselkamp, Mr. Gray, Mr. Sarakin-Gast, Assistant Chief Odell.
Always one. Always one. Take away your trucks.
Sorry. I want to give a shout out to the community for Earth Day. We really appreciate everybody that came out and helped. We had volunteers from every walk-in station. We did have a little over 150 volunteers, and we collected almost 3,000 pounds of trash this year.
Wow.
So thank you very much. I appreciate everybody coming out. I do want to give a shout out to everybody that graduated the Citizens Academy. I cannot do it any more justice than Mary already did, so I will not try, but I'm very proud of everybody that graduated and went through. So thank you.
Thank you very much. If I haven't left anybody out, then is there a motion to?
Moved.
Second. Seconded. All those in favor, respond, say aye.
Aye.
Okay. All those opposed, same sign. Okay, goodbye.
There you go, Dave. Oh, we're under 2 hours. Good job, guys.
I'll get the notes typed up and written to Leanna tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll work with it.